There is a moment every trader faces. A moment when the chart is quiet, the plan is clear, and the rules are simple. Yet something inside begins to pull in a different direction. The heart beats faster. The mind starts whispering what if. Logic fades. Impulse takes over. This is the silent trap that destroys most traders long before they ever realize what is happening. The truth is that traders rarely fail because of bad strategies. They fail because of the internal pressure that builds each time they want certainty in a world that cannot give it. They enter the market hoping to escape fear, but fear follows them. They chase quick results because patience feels like punishment. They try to control every outcome because losing feels like a personal attack on their identity. And in that emotional haze, the market becomes a battlefield where they fight themselves more than anything else. They know what they should do, yet they do the opposite. They cut winners early. They hold losers late. They revenge trade with the hope of repairing something inside them instead of the account in front of them. This is why the failure rate is so high. Most traders do not lose to volatility. They lose to the hidden conflict between the person they want to be and the emotions they are not willing to face. When you understand this, you begin to see the first doorway that separates the 95% from the ones who rise above it. How the mind quietly sabotages your execution. The mind has a way of protecting you, yet in trading this protection often turns into quiet sabotage. It reacts to uncertainty as if it were danger. It pushes you to take quick profits because the sight of floating gains feels fragile. It urges you to hold losing trades because accepting the loss feels like admitting failure. These reactions happen fast. Most traders never notice the shift until the trade is already destroyed. In moments of pressure, the brain does not search for logic. It searches for relief. It tells you to exit early so the anxiety can fade. It tells you to move your stop loss so the discomfort can disappear. Each choice brings temporary peace, but it weakens you. It trains your mind to override your plan in order to avoid emotional pain. Over time, this becomes a pattern that defines your entire trading style. The real danger is not a bad setup. The real danger is the habit of letting emotion guide your decisions. Once emotion becomes the pilot, the plan becomes optional. Discipline becomes an idea instead of a practice. Confidence becomes unstable because it depends on results rather than execution. Most traders keep trying to fix their strategy when the real problem lies in self-regulation. Until the mind learns to stay steady under pressure, no system will ever save them. When you recognize this internal cycle, you step closer to understanding what separates consistent traders from hopeful ones. The identity problem. Why most traders think like the 95%. A trader can change strategies 100 times and still remain stuck if their identity has not changed with it. Most people enter the market carrying the mindset of a gambler, a dreamer, or someone searching for a shortcut to a better life. This identity quietly shapes every decision they make. It creates expectations that the market will reward effort, time, or hope. Yet the market only rewards discipline, clarity, and emotional neutrality. This is why many traders repeat the same mistakes even when they know better. Their actions are aligned with who they believe they are, not with who they want to become. A person who thinks they must win to feel successful will always struggle with losses. A person who sees trading as a rescue mission will always chase quick results. A person who believes skill should guarantee profit will always be shaken by uncertainty. James once experienced this same internal conflict. He studied charts. He mastered patterns. Yet the market still punished him because his identity was built on the need to prove himself. Only when he confronted this truth did he begin to evolve. To rise above the 95%, a trader must shift from seeking validation to seeking mastery. They must release the idea that trading defines their worth. Once this inner identity begins to shift, the entire approach to the market transforms with it. The turning point that separates the 5%. There comes a moment when a trader realizes that the market will not change for them. The only thing that can change is the way they respond to it. This realization is the turning point that separates the 5% from everyone else. It is not found in a new indicator or a secret strategy. It comes from a quiet shift inside, a decision to stop fighting the market and start understanding oneself. At this stage, the trader begins to see that discipline is not punishment. It is protection. Patience is not weakness. It is strength. Uncertainty is not danger. It is the natural environment of trading. When these truths settle in the mind, the emotional turbulence begins to calm. Reactions slow down. Decisions become intentional. James reached this point after a long period of frustration. He noticed that his best trades came from a place of clarity rather than excitement or fear. He saw that consistent execution was more powerful than chasing perfection. This awareness changed the way he approached each trading day. The 5% are not fearless. They simply refuse to let fear direct their actions. They build habits that support discipline even when emotions rise. They accept losses as part of the process rather than threats to their confidence. When a trader reaches this turning point, the market begins to feel less like a storm and more like a landscape that can be navigated with purpose. Building the psychological edge the 95% never master. Once a trader understands their inner patterns, the next step is to build the traits that create long-term consistency. This is the psychological edge that most never develop. It is not about being perfect. It is about being stable. A stable mind makes stable decisions. A stable decision repeated over time becomes a powerful edge. The foundation of this stability begins with emotional awareness. A trader must know when fear is speaking and when logic is speaking. They must be able to notice the shift before it takes control. This awareness allows them to pause instead of react. It allows them to trade the plan instead of trading their feelings. Another part of the edge is detachment. Not coldness, not indifference. Detachment simply means the outcome of one trade does not shake your identity. A win does not inflate your ego. A loss does not break your confidence. This balance keeps the mind calm and reduces the need to force results. James learned this through repetition. He practiced stepping away from the chart when emotions rose. He followed his plan even when it felt uncomfortable. Over time, the market became less intimidating because his reactions no longer controlled him. The edge also includes patience. The 95% act quickly to escape discomfort. The 5% act slowly with intention. They wait for clarity. They protect their mental state as much as their capital. With this edge in place, trading becomes less about surviving and more about growing with purpose and control. The true reason only a few ever make it. In the end, the reason only a small group succeeds has little to do with intelligence or strategy. It comes down to who is willing to confront themselves. Trading is not a test of knowledge. It is a test of emotional maturity. Most traders avoid this truth. They chase new tools because tools feel easier than self-reflection. They want progress without discomfort. They want growth without change. But the 5% understand that the market mirrors their inner state. If the mind is chaotic, the results will be chaotic. Success appears when a trader finally accepts responsibility for every decision. No blaming the market. No blaming news. No blaming luck. Only a calm understanding that each choice reflects their level of discipline and self-control. This acceptance is the doorway to growth. It is the moment when the trader begins to rise above the 95%. James discovered this when he stopped asking why the market was against him and started asking why he reacted the way he did. That question alone changed his path. It allowed him to build a mindset strong enough to handle uncertainty without fear. The moral is simple. The market rewards the trader who learns to master themselves. Your real opponent is never the chart. It is the untrained mind behind the screen. If you found value in this lesson, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment your biggest takeaway. Your engagement helps this channel reach more traders who need this message. If you are ready to understand the deeper patterns that shape your decisions and transform the way you trade, then watch this video titled How to Reset Your Trading Mindset for the New Year. It will help you see the truth behind your habits and guide you toward real improvement.